Welcome back to the channel, you guys. This is Wicked Raider 22. It is pretty early morning, but this one has been weighing on me. So, as always, if you do not have a clan before we get started, if you would love to join in the fun, go ahead and type in 22WK. Join the clan, guys. We're trying to get up to our minimum of at least 10 members as we prepare for the next clan versus clan event. Would love to have you on the team, just a part of things and in the conversation as always. So, here's the purpose of this video. As always, we are being enthralled with events, tournaments, and of course, those moments where we're able to exhibit our strength. Currently, Hero's Path is coming to an end, as well as Dungeon Divers. And here's the major question. We normally have a summons rush, or this event is kind of replacing some of the other events that we've been discussing and we're used to seeing. So when you think about it, you're campaign farming, you're going in and trying to acquire champions by opening, of course, mystery shards. You are adding experience points to those champions and then leveling them up. Beyond having to ascend champions, we're also pushing ourselves to awaken them as well. And this is what we have for your hero's path. So at the very beginning, you can pick a path, you can pick one, or you can pick both. I've seen videos where there's a preference, really largely based on if you are free to play or if you are well in the game or even a little minnow spending, 20, 30, 40 bucks per month in the game. For me, I always look first of all and kind of see how far down are books, because books are going to be the hardest thing to acquire at this point. And for me, that's going to be most important. Now, on a lot of accounts, you are more so looking at Immortal Soul Essence. I've seen a lot that really got excited and were aiming for the Mortal Soul Stone because of the price on packages or the amount that has to go into trying to acquire these as you're moving through Doom Tower. If you haven't unlocked Doom Tower, for example, then these rewards, you're welcome to acquire them and save them up. But for a lot of people, that's not going to be their main focus. And I know that many of my viewers, many of those of you who have blessed me and given me the privilege of having a comment for you, going for an eternal soul stone, getting to the end of this is a little bit beyond where you are and the amount of energy you really want to put in. Now, the easy thing is if you've been campaign farming quite a bit, you've been saving up on those resources, these events can be lucrative. So I've chosen actually to go down both sides. I know on this particular account, the likelihood of me making it into these deeper tiers beyond the keys on both sides is pretty slim to none. All right. So I'm coming in. I do run my multi battles, of course. I may sit and do a little bit of arena, but my upgrades are based on the needs of my particular account. Now, if we look a little closer, when it comes to keys, this was a sticking point for me. The second and third paragraph really made it clear. You'll need event keys to head down certain paths or to cross over to another. You may be given one event key for free when the event starts, and this did not happen. But most of the time, you'll need to use the hero coins you earn during the event to get some. When the event ends, any unused event keys will be lost, and any unused hero coins will be lost and automatically converted to silver. And that's the norm with a lot of the previous events that we've been earning either crowns or just whatever was available during that particular event. Now, they give you rank 1 through rank 6. They also, of course, look at the upgrades. And if you think about it, if you have not been preparing yourself beyond leveling up, but ranking up a champion, this would involve quite a bit of heaviness as far as resources are concerned. Summon champions, we have tons of mystery shards. A few of us have been working hard to save up even our ancient shards. Or I've seen a couple of strategies where people have been going in between Tag Team Arena, or they're just collecting gems in general and doing the little hotspot pack that will give you 3 ancient shards. But it's not really going to make a difference until you hit the void in the sacred shard level. What makes any event worth it is going to be where your account is. Now, the objectives I can appreciate. They're all champion based. Do I want to upgrade? A lot of people can get the majority of this challenge done in Tavern. I am looking to move my team forward. I'm going to open some mystery shards and use those to fuel those upgrades. Or I'm going to take this opportunity with the saved up multi battles I may have, and I'm going to run campaign and just max out everyone XP wise as I prepare for the next tournament or event. So those are both manageable and doable. The other place you're going is you're taking a look at what sacred shards or what shards in general you have acquired and whether this would be the best time for you to go ahead and open those shards. For a lot of free to play accounts, and you're going to hear the sentiment over and over again. The biggest difference between my free to play and my pay to play account, because I am a baby minnow as far as spending. On my free to play, I have to be really careful when I acquire a void or a sacred shard, because I'm thinking to myself, if I pull an amazing, let's just even go down the fragment summon list to a certain degree. Let's say you pull, or you've acquired enough fragments or what have you. You pull someone like Mighty Uko, and you're going in with this champion, and you 100% want to fully book out this champion. On a free to play account, my question is very simple. Will you be able to do that? At this point, have you saved up the books to be able to fully book out the average legendary champion? There are many of you guys who know exactly what I'm talking about. And let's go to the index. Let's just pick a random category. I'll go to high elves because I have a lot of champions that fall into this category. Let's say, for example, I just pull Arbiter. I want to go in and I want to book out this champion. So I'm looking at 3, 6, 7, which she isn't bad at all. 8, 9. I'm looking at 9 books. 9. Now, here's my question. When was the last time you had 9 books on a free to play account? How long would it take you to acquire 9 books to fully book out this champion? Along with keeping in mind, I want to fully ascend this champion. I definitely would want to awaken this champion. And so I am collecting souls for the market. I am putting all of this in. A lot of us have Deliana, for example. Here's another good example. Depending on when you started your account, Deliana was one of your early login rewards. So 7 days, you received her along with some gear that definitely got you started. For many early accounts, Deliana was a huge game changer. I've actually seen the opinion on her kind of change a little bit over time, even with those veteran players, kind of seeing, where you're fitting her in. But books, still with 3, not nearly as bad as some, moving up to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we're up to 12 books, 12. Now, when you start getting into other champions, and I've seen some guys, let's look at Roskar. You hear about Roskar at the tower so often. And it's not like a lot of the newer champions are not very book heavy. And you guys have seen when we pull some epics that 120%, like their book levels have not been horrible. But the question is, you're still looking at 8 to 10 books, 8 to 12 books, 8 to 14 books. And that's just with legendary. If we bring it down, because some of you guys, when you started, you had Talia as your first epic champion, for example. I'm looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Epic champion. She's proven to be a solid champion. She's proven to be a really good team leader. But on my free to play accounts, my focus has not only been on acquiring XP to max her out at various levels and getting her starred, it's also been to ascend her. I haven't had the privilege of awakening her on my other accounts. So when you have events like Heroes Path, and you start thinking about, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to open, this many shards. I've acquired, 6 sacred shards, or I have 15 void shards to open. Even if you are pay to play, at what point are you choosing to upgrade your account? As a free to play player, the question comes back really quickly. At what point are you going to start making those choices? On this particular account, I've come to the point where I've started to really trim down on my players. I can't keep every champion. And that's kind of hard to say because I realize that, for example, I love Miscreated Monster. I know this is a champion that can take me pretty far into the game. It's a champion that I still need to fully ascend. It's a champion that I still want to add masteries to. But the question is, do I pick this champion over so many others? On my pay to play account, I actually made the decision, which kind of shocked me and was one of the hardest. I started that account with Kale. On yesterday, I made the decision that I wanted to upload some other champions. Upgrade some other champions. And so Kale was sacrificed yesterday. It was one of those. It was either vault him and keep him or sacrifice him. Now, as a rare champion, do I have a pretty good chance of pulling him again? Probably so. If I went back on my free to play account, would I use kale as a food source? The answer is absolutely not. But on my pay to play account, kale by far does some things very well. But he is not the best champion in every category. Remember that this is a game of what best suits you. And this is where I have always looked at different champions and had to really stop and just think to myself. As I'm looking at him, for example, and you guys see these 3 books have been sitting here forever. It's not because on this account, I have 2 legendaries. I know I enjoy playing with Deliana, but I also know that Deliana will not be my forever lead champion. I know that. I know that El Hain will not be my forever champion. So, do I add books to these champions as I go? The answer is going to be yes. The answer is yes. So, I'm not telling you, especially with some of your rare and epic champions, to not book them out, guys, is a disservice to your account. There are a lot of areas where you can progress by simply adding those books. Can it be worth it? Absolutely. Having that extra 25% for damage added in has made a difference. Having this champion, we turn this into a 3-turn cooldown. We're going to add that additional 20%. That huge, huge, especially when you are dealing with an increased possible critical rate. We're looking here, coming with damage again, adding that 25%. What I wish you would always get on the last level was a cooldown, always taking away, 1 turn from that cooldown. So I do have champions that I have literally gone in and did the work. Mother Superior is another one. This is a champion that she has been helpful in particular areas. Does it make a difference for her? Absolutely. Does it make a difference in where I use her in the game? I'll say absolutely. But there are other champions that I'm really interested in. For example, Soul Bond Warrior. I keep saying bound, y'all. Soul Bond Warrior is one. And as you can see, I have not made the leap with this champion. I know that she has mid and in game viability. I want to use her specifically in some of those rare Doom Tower rooms. I know this is a champion that I'm going to have to fight to hold on to. But I also know, even as a rare champion, I have to stop resource wise and kind of make that decision that this is going to be the champion that I want to book out, especially here. Total, this is what gets me 4, 4, boom, So we're already 8 books in, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. I have not pulled very many dupes of her. And I know the more you pull, the more likely it is. I think I've had one account that actually pulled a dupe. Other than that, when I'm looking at the number of books that are required, especially on this third skill for shot level, I know that majority of those will be books that are earned. So, how do you make decisions? What's going to be your marker? What do you use as your gauge? For all of my free to play players, I know that a lot of you guys are extremely strategic because of the limitation of resources. And I would love to hear what you're doing and how you approach leveling up champions, and also how you approach which events or tournaments you're choosing to participate in. I won't make this video any longer, but if you have not joined, we would love to have you at 22WK. We're all here prepping, saving up, running campaigns, holding off, honestly, at leveling up so many champions just because we want to dive into this next clan versus clan. I would love to have you guys. I'm trying to get to 10 members. We are 6 members away. So definitely go ahead, join with your first account, second account, third account. As long as you plan on being active, we would love to have you. I will talk to you guys soon, and have a good one.